Just because you don't come from money does not mean that you are poor. There is a difference. And I don't think that a lot of people talk about that, because you hear people say, oh, well, I ain't come from money. Yeah, but you wasn't poor either. Like, let's be real about what being poor really looks like. And if I'm being honest, just because you come from money doesn't necessarily mean that you came from a good family either. Like, people get that misconstrued, but that's a conversation for another time, really. Because I could do a whole nother situation on that. But yeah, just because you come from money does not mean that you came from a good family. But just because you don't come from money does not mean that you are poor. Being poor is a whole different, it's not just a state of mind. I hear people say that and I think I'll be like, no. Poverty is definitely a real thing. It's not just a state of mind. Yes, your mind may have a part to do with it. It has conditions to it. But poverty is an actual situation. It's a physical, tangible situation that you see around you. It's not just a mindset. You can use your mindset to get out of poverty, and you can come from money or have money and your mindset puts you in poverty. But it's not just a mindset. So that's stupid too. But it's a physical thing that we have to be like conscious of and like deal with in reality and say, okay, this person actually comes from poverty. This person is actually in poverty, and they need actual things that will help them from where they're at in poverty to get them out of poverty. But just because you come from money, you don't come from money, doesn't mean that you were in that situation. It doesn't mean that you were in a situation where like you didn't have. It just means that you may not even been middle class, because middle class people live a lot different. But if your parents were like making, you know, $50,000, $60,000 a year, if they were able to like take you clothes shopping a couple times a year, you guys went on vacations, once a year or whatever like that, like you're not poor. If you got clothes, you got food in your house, you have just the basic necessities of things, really, then you weren't poor. You just weren't able to go and have Jordans you know what I'm saying? You weren't able to go and buy the newest Jordans. You didn't have the newest video game system. You didn't, you know what I mean? But you weren't poor. You just didn't have it like that. Your parents wasn't giving you an allowance every week, but you weren't poor. So I think that needs to be, addressed, and stop trying to use that as a crutch or as something to use to try to act like you can relate to to people who come from poverty, because it's a whole lot different in poverty.